What's up, photographers of Zanin? This is the first episode of How to Be a Better Photographer. I'm Joe, and I'm going to show you today how to use this to take images like this. First things first, most of us have cell phones, which means that we've got digital cameras in our pockets.
Wow.
And I know that a lot of people buy their cell phones based on the amount of lenses that they have. So you'd get someone that goes, oh man, I've got the new Huawei P30 and it's got 3 lenses. It must take fantastic pictures. Well, the first thing you should know is that you never ever ever insult a photographer by saying your camera takes good pictures.
Amen.
The most important part of a camera, any camera, whether it be a DSLR like the 7D I'm using to film this, or your Huawei P30, it's not the camera that takes the pictures, guys. It's the 12 inches behind the camera that takes the pictures. So today, it's going to be a short video, 5 tips to take better cell phone pictures with any phone. No matter how old it is, iPhone, Android, Samsung, Huawei, LG, whatever it is. As long as it's got a camera, I'll show you how to take better pictures. Step 1, and this might seem like a logical step, but lots of us forget about it. Remember that your phone goes into your pocket, it goes out of your pocket, you handle it, you throw it down. This is a camera. When you take out this phone to take a picture, the very first thing you need to do, and probably the most important step, is to wipe your lens. You can use a cloth or you can use your shirt. If, like me, you wear spectacles only when you're in the office or you're reading, you won't have your spectacles with you. If you do have your spectacles with you all the time, use the spectacles cloth, and that's fine. As long as you keep this lens clean, you're going to have really sharp images. Alright, so step 2. When you open your camera, you'll see that there's a grid on your camera. And that grid is to help you compose your image. And these grids help you to use one of the rules that we have in photography, and that's called the rule of thirds. So how the rule of thirds works is that your screen is divided into 3 blocks, those squares that you see there. So if, for example, you would like to take a picture of your beautiful pot plant there, you could do it the normal way, take your phone out, take a picture. But what happens when you drop down a bit and you move that plant from the center into the first third? Suddenly, you've got a really nice picture with some depth of field.
Ta-da! Now who's your dad?
Same thing with your kids. You take your child and you take a photograph of them, but you place them and you compose your picture by placing them in the first third of your image. Makes a hell of a difference. Now we've got 2 down, let's get down to the 3rd one. And this one is the one that I see a lot of people struggle with. And it's very simple. When you're photographing a child, it's just a normal human being, it's just a very small human being. So what you do is, you take your cell phone, you apply your rule of thirds that you've just learned, and what you do is you drop down to their level. If you're taking a photograph from the top like this, yeah, it's quite a nice picture, but what happens when you drop down and you apply your knowledge of the use of thirds along with dropping down to their level? Suddenly they become personal. It becomes in your face. It's a real human being. You're down to their level. It's not just an object that's far away, and suddenly they take on a whole different dimension.
Wow.
Now that we've got the rule of thirds down, we've got our angles down, and we understand how depth of field works and perspective works, we get to rule number 4, which is it's more my pet peeve than anything else, and that's filters. Why would you use a filter? Stay away from filters. Filters is not something you want to do in your camera. That's something that we will teach you at the Zanin Photographic Club to do post-production. Filters. Don't do filters. I know it looks great on Instagram, but it really doesn't, guys. It really doesn't. Like, here's a filter. I don't like filters. I can't really. And the fifth and the last tip for this video is also one of those that you would assume to be quite logical, but because we don't all use our cameras all the time, we don't think about it. And that's the way you hold your phone or your camera. I see a lot of people holding the phone like this, and they look at the picture that they want to take, and they use their index finger and take the photo. And look what happens when you do that. You're pushing your camera. And the slightest vibration on the camera causes a blurry image. The correct way to do this is to hold your phone as if you're holding a PlayStation remote, right? So you hold your phone, there's no obscurity here, no fingers in the way of the lens, it's nice and firm, and you use your thumb, both your thumbs actually, focus and snap. If you struggle to hold the phone steady like this, use something to lean on, right? Just make sure that you have a really nice sturdy surface to lean on, focus on your image and snap it. And that's it. That's basically it. That's the best way to take your photograph. So remember all of that, guys, and remember, if you would like to learn more about photography, cell phone photography or DSLR photography, we could even look at film photography. The basics stay the same. If you want to learn more, do yourself a favor and join the Zanine Photographic Club. We are going to have meetings soon when the regulations allow for it, but in the meantime, we've got a really nice community going over on our Facebook page, our Facebook group rather, sorry, and the link to that group is in the description of this video, either here below, I think, somewhere, or at the top. So click on the link, go and join our group, and meet like-minded people who all have the same thing in common, photography, and how to be better at it.